Right, now this is another part of our foundations for engaging students online. You may not know, but there are actually a lot of decisions a teacher makes in the classroom about agency. Who has the power? Is it the teacher or is it the student? And we often talk about learning that is teacher-centred or student-centred. Now, we're not saying either is good or bad. We're just saying it needs to be a balance and that we can move here and here depending on what is appropriate. So, thinking about, for example, a particular context, we're going to look at crane driving. Now, let's look at information. If we're down this end, the teacher is doing a lot of telling, then they're saying the legislation says this. The legislation includes these areas. This is what you need to know. So that is teacher-centered delivery. It is just that. It is teacher telling and the students receiving. Whereas at this end, students may work together and they find out. So this is not necessarily free-range learning. The tasks are set by the student, and so we have this polarity. Also, there is responsibility. If a teacher is here doing all the input, they're doing all the work in a sense. Students can have inquiry type activities, project-based learning, and that can be sort of from heavily teacher-directed through to quite free projects. Discovery. Don't give a lecture on the Vietnam War. Let your students go out and talk to Vietnam War vets. Don't give a lecture on health and safety in crane driving. Get them to go out and talk to crane drivers and interview them and report back. Now, this is the responsibility spectrum with the information here, that where it comes from. Here it is found and looked up. Here it is given. And so you have this spectrum here, and decisions too. Here you may even allow students to determine the questions. So again, we have a spectrum. Now, this is important because if students spend all their time on this end, just being told, being talked to, being delivered to, rather than being guided, which is probably in the middle. So we have over here teacher driven, guided, and over here you have student led or student centered. So we have our kind of our spectrum of styles of delivery and that kind of thing. This here, this whole area here, includes co-constructed knowledge. And frankly, this, according to the research, goes deeper, students learn more, and they become more engaged. All right, so that's the second of the three basic foundations we're just wanting to look at. So we're looking at online, trying to help the learning become more student-centred, more with them having more agency, the power to make choices.